Ready?
Light work, baby.
5, 6, 7, 8. It's the Ins and Outs show with Kane and Jake. Don't be coming if you're real fake. Only come if you're really fucking cool, or I'll send you back to high school. Bars. You like that?
It was alright. I preferred last week.
What was last week's?
I don't know.
No, I said ho last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this one's better.
Better.
Less likely.
Better
It's less likely to be cancelled. Kicks of the day.
Fuck cancel
Rocking
culture.
the threes, man. They're not threes. They're not threes. They are Jordans, but they ain't threes. They Jordan flights, I think. Flights.
Dunno.
Jordan squeaks, we're gonna call them.
Jordan squeaks. But I'm now just becoming a mini you now.
It's pretty cool though, right? Like, so I just gave
Titan?
Wow. Guys, I'm so tired. I just gave Jake a pair of trainers, and there's a really cool story behind these trainers. So my friend was given these trainers as like they were gifted, and the rule of the shoe was that like they're never allowed to be sold, and you have to pass them down. So it's like a rite of passage.
Rite of passage.
So then
I've never chosen one.
So then Paulius Fruja, aka DJ Lifo, my old housemate and Dream Boys buddy, super great guy. Go and check him out at DJ Lifo, plays house music. He gave them to me and told me the story that they're never allowed to be sold and they have to be gifted to a friend and they have to be passed on. And Jake told me last week that his favorite color was purple, which I didn't know. Which is a bit questionable favorite color, if I'm being quite honest. But
Why?
we'll get to that. So then I've passed the shoes on to Jake because they're white, black and purple. So I felt like it just makes sense for you to rock them because it's your favorite color. So welcome to your third pair of Jordans. Second pair of Jordans.
Second.
Welcome to the club, son. Why is purple your favorite color?
I don't know. It always has been. It's like a kind of a color of
Did you love Barney?
mystery.
Did you love Barney the dinosaur?
No, here's a scary motherfucker.
Do you love aubergine emojis?
No.
Oh, I'm just checking.
No, it's like a mystery color.
Do you like purple grapes?
They're alright.
So you don't really like anything purple.
I don't know. It's just a cool color.
All right.
What's your favorite color?
Green.
Why?
I like the grass.
That came out way too quickly. That's obviously a very legitimate answer.
No, it just reminds me of like the
Green
summer
shit.
and like doing cool
Happy
shit.
shit.
Playing football,
Okay.
playing rugby, fighting, learning how to backflip. Like
Okay,
lots
I
of
can see it.
experiences on the green grass.
And the green, I like it.
And I got green eyes.
They're like a bit yellowy, aren't they?
Nah, they're green, bruv. Matches. Green goes good with orange hair. It's true. Not many colours go good with orange hair, but green does.
Alright.
As another colour, like black and orange, good. White and orange, meh.
Green
But
and orange.
green and orange, it goes. Find another colour that I can wear with orange hair.
Alright. Mission.
Besides blue, but I hate blue.
Why do you hate blue?
Shit.
Why?
Reminds me of the sea.
What's wrong with the sea?
Scared of the sea.
You scared of the sea?
Scared of the sea. I still go snorkeling and swimming and scuba diving.
How are you scared of the sea?
Sharks, man.
What?
Have you never seen Jaws?
Yeah, but like...
So why is that not terrifying to you?
Because like the probability of it is like tiny.
Well, yeah, only because I only go in the sea once a year. But if I went in there every day like I did on the grass...
What, so do you not go in the sea like when you're on holiday?
Yeah, but I only go on holiday once a year, bro. In fact, I haven't been in 3.
3 years. COVID.
Probably won't for another 2.
No.
So, yeah. I'm scared of fish.
Why?
Not goldfish. Just fish in the sea.
Right.
I don't like them. They freak me out.
Have you actually ever been like scuba diving?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
like deep under?
I had a scuba tank on it. It was deep, but it
Right.
wasn't like I wasn't fucking next to the Titanic. But like I was deep enough that if I didn't have it on, I'd drown.
You drown.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you ever have a bad experience?
No,
What?
I just don't like
Just a
it.
pussy.
Yeah, I'm just a little bitch. But I'm not a bitch because I
You go
make
for
a
it.
conscious decision to overcome
Yeah,
my
yeah.
fear. I have a thing that if you're scared of something, you have to tackle it head on. Like I jumped out of a plane.
I still need to do that.
Like I bought a snake. My biggest phobia in the world is snakes. I bought one. In fact, I didn't buy it. Kyle gave it to me. But like, do you know what I mean? Like I have this thing. So I am a bit of a bitch, but I'm not a bitch. You a bitch.
You're a bitch. I once almost drowned. I was surfing in Australia and I got hit by a riptide.
What's a riptide?
It's where you have like a current going in the opposite direction of the current.
Yeah.
So like, let's say waves are going this way and then there'll be a random current going the opposite
Into
direction, like away, dragging you out to sea. And I got caught on that for like a good hour and I was swimming against it. I was an absolute idiot. I could have, because there was a rock pier next to
Yeah.
me, and the riptide was taking me into the rock pier, and then the waves were crashing into it.
So
If I got hit by a big wave, I would have gone into the rocks and
That's
got
happened to
obliterated.
me. I've been smashed against rocks into the sea.
Have you?
Cut my chest. Got a little
Nice.
scar on my chest to prove it.
Where were you?
I don't know. I was a little kid. I went
England?
Yeah, in
Right.
England. I went swimming with my brother that passed away. We were out in the sea and the beach, and like the tide took us across, and it pushed us both like towards the rocks. And I like my little brother in it, so I like kind of got in front of him.
Yeah.
So he wasn't going to hit the rocks, and then he cut all his knee open on the rocks.
Nice.
Like, so I tried getting in front of him. I got in front of him, and he was holding onto my shoulders, and the wave hit me. And
Right.
smacked my chest into the rocks.
Ouch.
And then my daddy come and saved us.
How old are you?
Probably like 11, 10.
Right, so
11.
young.
Young.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he would have been like 2-3 years younger than me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, rough. It hurt as well. Like, cutting yourself in salt water. Oh
Yeah,
my
instant pain.
goodness. Like,
Keeps it clean though.
yeah, didn't get infected. Scarred healed really good as well. Like, but yeah. Anywho, what's up, peeps? It's Tuesday morning. It is 10:45. Late
10:45.
start today. Well, we've spoke fucking 20 minutes about the sea and colours. But yeah, well, another week. Another week is done and
Another
dusted.
week.
Ins and Outs program finished for the month. We filmed on Sunday. Last week is filming week, and it was a success.
It was a success.
The busiest month we've had was the program. The most people joined on. Don't think I'll take that many again though, but we'll see.
Depends who asks.
No, we'll see. It was amazing. It was just a lot to what's the word I'm looking for?
A lot to mental.
A lot to coordinate. Like even like filming the groups and stuff. Like if you think there were some people not there, and it just felt like a lot to figure out. You know. But it was a really successful one. I thoroughly enjoyed Sunday filming, watching. It's really nice seeing people, once they've settled on a combo, have the confidence to like go
Bang
for
it out.
it, bang it out,
Yeah.
and like be a bit fearless, because they're really comfortable with it. Whereas a lot of the time you see people learn a combo, and then it's like you watch them after they've just learnt it.
They're like, oh, they're still like in processing
They're still
mode.
on eggshells. They're still
Yeah,
like
yeah.
figuring it out. But to watch them actually like have time to rehearse it, and you can really tell the people that go away and
Go and
practice.
rehearse it, yeah.
Like, which is the whole point of filming day. But like, shout out Neve Ranson. Like, we were just watching one of the videos before it, and I told you that she sends like footage of like training, and like she just looks so comfortable whilst dancing the combos,
well
because
rehearsed.
it's rehearsed. Like, it's so in her body, like you can't fault it. So Sunday was dope. Saturday I had a wonderful time. I was very honoured. I got asked by my good friend Josh Warmby to go and teach at his program phase in London. It was last minute, so I don't know who I was covering. I should have been first choice. But whoever I'm covered, thank you for not going, because I had a fucking amazing time. And I got a phase hoodie. Feels weird wearing someone else's initials on my chest, but
Represent though.
it's worth it. I love it. Thank you. The back is dope. I would show you all, but it means I'm going to F up the mic. But go and get a nice phase hoodie and go and sign on to his training program. It's really, really dope. It was at a dope space where I've never been before. It was like the Olympic Park or something. I don't really know.
Was it London?
Yeah, it was in
Right.
London. It was dope, man. The studio, like the place was huge. The studio was beautiful. Sound system was amazing. Floor was nice. Like, it was just so nice. And like the students were great. There's a lot of them, and they worked their butts off.
What kind of student base was it? Was it like
I had some
postgrads?
people that I know, like a few people I knew. Like, there's some dancers that I've taught, like outside of, I guess, college life, and then a few college students I've taught, and then loads of people I didn't know. But I'm assuming everyone there wants to be a working dancer, or
I
you
was
know.
gonna say, is it like training work?
Yeah, because the whole point of his is like he's prepping you to be a commercial dancer. You
Gotcha.
know, he's prepping
Yeah,
you
yeah.
to be a working dancer. And it was dope. And he does like a rehearsal process with them. So he does like a stage piece with them, and they have to do it like as a rehearsal. And people do entrance and exits, and they do transitions, reverse a section. And then he has different guest teachers in. What's really interesting, which I didn't know, is he doesn't tell them who their guest teachers are. Which is like, that's kind of dope. Like,
quite ballsy, isn't it?
Ballsy.
Yeah.
Like, imagine, like, I was like, if you've signed up and I walk in, I was like, imagine you're like, who the fuck is that? Who's the short white ginger guy?
But I guess he's got the reputation
That they know
behind-
that, yeah, they trust him. That he
Yeah,
would,
yeah.
the same way I hope people would trust me. Like, I'm not going to give you no dog shit
Debatable.
teacher. Rude. I'll have you know, look at the teachers I've brought in,
That
bro.
was a joke.
I've Michael
That was a
Naylor,
joke.
incredible. John Graham,
Here we
the
go.
GOAT. Alex Shondoff,
Here you go.
incredible. Will be the GOAT. Cisco Gomez, twice the GOAT. Lisa Spencer cancelled the goat this month. Can't tell you. A goat. You fucking bastard. You know nothing about dance. I will roast you right now.
You roasted me.
Do an LV. Shut up then. Do a moonwalk.
I can
Shut up then.
I can moonwalk.
Show me the robot. Shut up then.
I'm really sad.
But can you windmill?
I can.
You don't even know what a windmill is.
I do.
Shut up, Jake. And then, so yeah, so he doesn't.
That was a proper run.
Thanks. He doesn't advertise his guest teachers, and I was like, I hope they're not disappointed. And then he introduced me, and he's like, if you don't know who Kane Silver is, and like you could see people in the room had no fucking idea who I was. But it was nice. It felt like a first date.
Right.
Which I haven't been on a first date in a very long time, but it felt like a very, very long time. It felt like a first date because I felt like I had to win people over.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was like I had to, you know, when you go on a date and you're like, you show everyone all the best parts of you, and you don't want them to see the shit. Yeah. And it's like the third date, they start to see the flaws in you.
Yeah.
It's like they got to see me for an hour and a half, so I really got to show all my good qualities before they saw any flaws. At least unless I didn't mean to show them any flaws.
Right.
But no, it was super fun. I taught. I didn't know what to teach, because obviously what I teach is quite different from Josh. And he told me to teach whatever I want. He was like, "Come and just do you. Like, I want to do some hip hop stuff." And it's weird because I'm not a hip hop teacher. I don't teach like hip hop, but I don't teach commercial in my eyes. It's kind of like commercial is obviously a fusion of hip hop and other styles, but like kind of like a hybrid of the bunch. Because I'd never be like, I am a hip hop teacher, but I would also be like, I don't just teach, in air quotes, commercial dance. So I was like, I don't know what to do, and he's like, just do you. And it's the first date, so I wanted to make sure like that it was a good song. Like I wanted to make sure that everyone's gonna feel best foot forward. Like I didn't want to go in and do like Jaheim Ain't Leaving Without You, because although it's a tune and I love the dance, like maybe that's not a tune for everyone. You know, like I didn't know that song before I got shown it. But I was like, Bieber, you can't really go wrong. So I was like to Josh, what did you do this morning? Like I might do Bieber. And he was like, I already did Bieber this morning. I was like, what song? And it wasn't, I can't remember what he said, but it wasn't the same song. And he's like, I did an audition class with him. I was like, dope. Let's pretend that they got through the first round of the audition. This is the second round. Like, so it kind of worked pretty good.
Oh, nice.
And it was fun, man. Like they worked their asses off. They seemed really responsive. Like it was great. There was some really talented people in there. And there was this one boy, I wish I remembered his name. You know how bad I am at names. He was super lovely, and we were doing it in like I did like a boys group and then 2 girls groups, and he messed up and walked off. So I kind of ranted at him, like not in a horrible way, but like, look, we don't get into this habit. Like we never walk off. Like you suck it up and you keep going. If you have to twerk, like you do the worm, you do something to stay on stage. Because I was like, this could have been your audition. And I might have watched you at the beginning, roast it, and then look somewhere else. And then when I look back to find you again, you've gone. Whereas you could have got it back by then. Or it could have been on the freestyle at the end. And he was dope. He totally understood it. So then the next group, another girl come on, and she made a mistake. But as soon as she started dancing from the jump, I was like, she's dope. Like, never seen her in my life. Didn't know who she was. She's super dope. She started killing the combo, and then she fucked up. And she just started doing like a bunch of house steps. Like, started killing it, and I was actually more intrigued that she fucked up and made it look more interesting than what I did, and then got back into it. So I went up to her after it and I was like, yo, like, great fucking job. Not only did you catch my attention at the beginning, you messed up, and then I was more intrigued to watch you. Like, you actually made it better. And her name was Jade. She's from Belgium or Holland. I can't remember. I should remember. But they are neighbours. It's very close. It was an easy mistake. But she was super dope. So shout out to Jade, man. And then I did a final group at the end, and I put her in the group because she roasted. Yeah. I had a guy called Colby Richardson, I think is his name, on the right, and Lau from Wilkes Academy on the left. And then I had James Lambert, who's a very lovely dancer, in the middle. And then my 2 girls were Beth Cooper and this Jade girl. So I didn't say Beth like, Cooper. Yeah, Beth from the program. I didn't say like, this is my people that I've booked. But like, they all told the same story, but still made it interesting and had their own feel whilst doing it.
Just get the timer up.
That's right. So they all had their own feel whilst doing it. So it was very lovely. And then, yeah, I felt like I felt like it was a success. And then we did a Q&A after it, which was meant to finish at 4:15. And we finished at 25-5 because me and Josh won't be together. I don't know. We just bounced off each other. Like they were asking great questions.
Mm.
And then we were just like bouncing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You know what
So
I mean?
was it only you two teaching that day?
Yeah, so he taught in the morning, then I taught in the afternoon, and then the next day they had Lisa Spencer,
Gotcha.
which I wish I was there for that as well, so I could like sit and listen to her Q&A. But no, man, it's super humbling experience, and Josh said he had amazing feedback, so smashed
Your first date went well.
Yeah, hopefully I get invited back for a second date. No, take that in, Josh.
That's
Book me. But no, it was lovely, man. So I felt super honoured.
Nice. Good
'Cause
weekend.
I don't go and teach at like programs and stuff like that very often. Like I always get asked to go and teach at like dance
Colleges.
schools
Yeah.
or colleges, but I've never been asked to teach at like a training program unless I've made it. So yeah, it felt like an accomplishment. It was like a tick off the bucket list.
Nice.
So I'm very grateful. Dope dancers there. Do you know what was interesting? I think he I'm assuming he requests everyone to wear all black.
I noticed that, and the thing I was like, everyone was wearing black.
Everyone was wearing black, so straight away I felt like I was in like a rehearsal for a show or something. So, and it's interesting. So I can see a pro and a con to this. The pro is it, and I was speaking to John and Marco. I went for dinner after teaching with them, and I was like, it's really interesting. It made everyone all of a sudden feel like more together. It made everyone feel cleaner.
Got you.
Like, do you know what I mean? Because then all of a sudden everyone kind of looks the same, so you already imagine them as a unit. But then they were, I don't know if it made it look cleaner because they had the same clothes on or what, but it just looked like a nicer picture to look at. So like, and John made a good point, and he was like, maybe it helps people feel like they have something in common with the person next to them, because like going into a space like that can be maybe quite daunting, so it removes that.
It's kind of like a uniform.
Yeah, like it's something that unites us all from the very jump. So you already have something in common in the room, which is dope. The only reason I don't want that to be like what I wouldn't have that for my program, but I get it because it completely makes sense, especially as he's teaching them all to be commercial dancers, and he wants it to be like a rehearsal and uniform, so you have to learn to like blend with each other and stuff like that. Like I think it's super dope, and I might try it maybe one program, bite it hard, and just see what it works like for me.
Or on a filming day or whatever.
Or on a filming day, exactly. But like for me, I want to be able to someone to come and express themselves to the highest of their ability. And through some people, like clothes is a part of that expression.
The expression.
Like I know it is for me. Like I know I don't wear like elaborate clothing and I just wear black every day, but I'm very selective about my shoes or my hats. Like, so if I had to wear black shoes and I didn't have a dope pair of black shoes that I like dancing in, that might throw me off. Not throw me off, but like I don't get to feel at my best because I like wearing a specific shoe, you know? So it's pros and cons. But it was very, 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 very lovely experience.
That's a lot of berries.
Yeah, I didn't have any alcohol last night, you can tell, right?
Yeah, buzzing.
I'm still tired as hell, but I'm ready. What else has been popping? Oh, I've got a good one. So, peep this. Anyway, how are you? Have you had anything nice this week?
I've just been sitting there nodding. Yeah, my week last week was busy. It was a proper like 80-hour work week.
Wow, what are you doing?
Just building shit and just loads of like videography work. Obviously, it was videoing for you, editing.
How
gym.
many videos do you think you edit a week?
Well,
Obviously, my week is the busiest week.
So, like sometimes it's like none. You know, depending on the week that you have. Or some like this week, including Sundays, it's probably going to be like, I don't know, 40 videos?
40?
40?
Fuck. How long would that take? I guess because it's my...
like one takes it easy. Just slap the music over the top, do a bit of colour correction, Bob's drunk on.
Which one do they want editing?
Pardon?
Editing.
Yeah, editing ones are the longer ones because you're choosing.
But I don't give you any editing ones.
No. Like yours are really easy because it's the same...
I'm an easy client.
Yeah, you're a really easy client. It's lovely.
I don't even tell you what to do.
No, you don't. You just go do it.
I don't even tell you lighting. You go, what light do you want? I don't care.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Make it look good.
But like yours are really easy because like you make a template and then you just slap the next video in. Like once I've made the template, like one of your videos would take, like if I'm doing groups, a minute and a half.
Now you're making this sound really easy. I might learn to be a videographer and fire you.
Do it. Do you want to buy my camera too whilst you're at it? And the gimbal And the
No, I
lights,
just
the
use
SD
bro,
card.
I can shoot
Just
in
on my phone.
4K on my phone.
Mate, phones are mad now. You don't get as much depth of field though. Depth of field is what makes it look nice.
I don't know what that means, but
So like, if you were videoing the camera and
Yeah.
the screen behind it,
the
like,
iPhone 13 does.
it's artificial. It's not real. It's AI. So it
Bitch, we're all about to live in a metaverse, which is
as in,
AI.
like,
It don't
so
matter.
it doesn't actually give you like the correct depth of field. So it, like, if you're videoing the camera and then you want background blur behind it, it fakes the background blur. So it doesn't actually give you like the real distortion, not distortion, but like, from
Yeah.
my understanding anyway, I'm not actually that much of a geek on this thing. So
Okay, you're back. You're hired again. Congrats.
I'm just defending my job here.
Yeah, so I saw interesting. Dean Lee posted on Instagram. If you don't know who Dean Lee is, he's a very successful choreographer. Choreographs and is part of the creative team for Janet Jackson. He's choreographed lots of, huge projects in the UK. Was a teacher at Erdang. Don't think he is anymore. But, Dean Lee, if you don't know who he is, go and do your research. He's definitely someone you should know who is in the dance industry. Very talented man. He put on Instagram a bit of a rant, which I found really interesting. He said, it's quite long. Right.
Go on, here we go. Can you read?
Can I read? Just. I need this close. He said, one thing I will say about this new generation of dancers, y'all are brave. Please don't message me directly on a Saturday evening on 9 p.m. asking me if I've got any shows or projects that you can audition for, and if so, when. How about if I do have a said project and I feel you're right for it, I will be in touch some way, somehow, usually via your agent, so it's professional and cap locks within working hours. Y'all need to chill. Don't get me wrong, I understand the hustle of being a dancer, but I wouldn't dream of messaging a choreographer directly when I was a dancer. You don't have it like that. Y'all think I'm just sitting here and have to answer because why? Yeah. Stop being so entitled. Show work ethic, show discipline, show professional etiquette, and exercise patience. The joke is, I am here for so many people when they need advice or a listening ear, etc. Students I've nurtured and we've built a working relationship on over time. Earn your place.
I have mixed feelings about that one.
Go on.
Well, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. I'm
from a non-dance perspective, obviously.
Yes.
It might be.
So I completely understand him, right? I think everything that he's saying is completely correct. I think you're just to message someone out of the blue and be like, hey, have you got any auditions or anything I can come up for? Blah, 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 blah. Via social media, which is like, I know it's his professional thing, but it's also his personal thing. So it's like it's a professional page, but it's also a personal page. So like, it's quite a lot to be asking that. I think when can you get away with that is depending on your relationship with that person. But I'm assuming, my assumption is that the people that are asking don't have that relationship. Hence he said, people I've nurtured and, at the last phrase, like he'll let him know the opportunities are there. But like if it was me that just messaged him like, yo, got a job I can do. Like I've never taken his class. I've probably worked with him twice, if that. I don't even know if that, maybe once. We know each other. We'd say hello to each other. We don't hang out. Like we don't text each other. So for me to do that would be really unprofessional. Right. Unless I was messaging him like a business offer, like, hey, would you want to come on my podcast? Because that's me offering you.
Offering him.
That's me offering you and asking you at the same time. That's dual, right? I know a dancer would be offering their services to him, but let's be fair, he's not short of that opportunity. He's not short of them. I think it would be better if you're going to do that via an email. Or via your agent. I know your agent isn't just going to message Dean Lee that. Or you might be like, hey, like say for example, like I learned a class combo of his, but then it means that I've been to his class and I've already invested in him. And then you're like, you've rehearsed it, you shoot it with a dope camera or something, and you go, hey, I really love your work. I'd love to work with you in the future. I'd like to just send you this video. Like if someone did that to me, I'd be flattered. But if someone messaged me, if this was me out of the blue and I don't know who you are, I'd be like, got any work for me? I'd be like, who the fuck are you? Fuck are you? But it is like, it's hard, right? Because like when we say 9 p.m. on a Saturday evening, if you're a working dancer, that's your working hours most of the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're on a show or like, I don't know. That's not that, to me as a dancer, that doesn't seem late. But as a muggle, 9 p.m. on a Saturday night, why would you do that? Like, so I'm torn, but I get what he's saying. Completely, I'm on his side. But I think you have to be in a working relationship to do that.
To be with it. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of variables.
However, here's my but, where I've been the person messaging.
Right.
When I was trying to get my visa, I messaged and I asked. Like, I also believe in don't ask, don't get. So I messaged Kenny Wormold. Like, didn't respond to me, so I contacted his agent, which is the professional way.
Yeah.
Like, but it was in person. I asked Marty Kudelka for help. Like, I spoke to people. I messaged Brian Freeman for help. I messaged Draco Johnson. I messaged Amy Allen. Like, I messaged people asking for help with my visa. However, I'd worked with all of these people. Or I had
some sort of relationship.
So I don't know. Like, does he have a relationship with these people that are messaging?
Well,
that's where it lies for
me.
That's the variable. If this person is invested in taking your class for 2 years, then maybe they feel like that they have a place to message.
Yeah.
But also, if they've taken it twice,
not so much.
Not so much.
I think the whole time thing, to me, like, what time someone messages me, I don't care. If you message me at 1 a.m, cool. Because it's not their responsibility to message you your time. It's your responsibility to have your phone available at that time, is my opinion. So, like, if someone messaged me at 1 a.m, I woke up to that text, I wouldn't be bothered in the slightest.
You're not going to be
if
like,
it woke me up, I should have my phone on silent.
Yeah.
That's a me issue rather than a them issue. And I also think social media has broken those boundaries down where you email only between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Yeah, that doesn't exist on social media.
That doesn't exist anymore in from a cultural standpoint.
Yeah.
So to me, that's a write-off for me. But I'm not saying it's wrong, like, you know. And the other thing is, going back to what you're saying, doors only open for those who knock.
Yeah.
So by knocking on a door, I think you're showing what kind of character you would be in a work ethic, like in a working.
Yeah, you're a go-getter.
You're a go-getter.
But also,
and if someone said that to me, like if a PT said, messaged me going, I want to work really hard for you, I'd be like, doors open.
Yeah.
Come through. But that doesn't happen very often. But if you're getting them 10 a day.
But I'm telling you, he probably gets these messages
every
like.
day, which is then where it becomes more of an issue.
It's like when people say to me, Nina, in fact, messaged me yesterday saying, how do I email an agent and not make it sound like a generic email and make it stand out? And I was like,
good question.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. You just write a lovely email. You make sure you come across professional, polite. Make sure you're going with your best foot forward with a decent looking email, decent looking headshots and CV and show reel. And I guess you just hope for the best. Like, I don't think there's
going to hit the mic.
I don't think there's anything you can do to make it like pop or different. And it's the same thing. Like, think how many, like, if you're an agent, I bet you get so many emails from the 4,000 graduates there are a year or whatever the fuck it is. Like, probably not that many, but let's say it's 2,000. Like, you're probably getting 50% of them are going to email you. If you're a good age, like if you're a popular agent, you're probably going to get a lot of emails a week requesting representation. Like, I think it's, but then as an agency, do you accept that that's part of the gig?
That's part of the gig, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then as a choreographer, I don't know if you should have to accept that that's part of the gig, because it's normally your agents, your work would go through an agent most of the time.
I don't know, like, I'm not saying like what he's saying is wrong. I do really agree with it. I'm mixed about it though. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I'm torn. I see it from his point of view,
yeah.
But I've also been the person that asks. But at the same time, I think it's good that he's put it out, because, some people might be like, if you messaged me, no, that's a lie. But maybe some people would be okay with that. They would like people doing that, But he's put it out there that he's not okay with that, and he doesn't like that. So it's just, I think
I think now it's an issue if people continue to do it.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's set the tone. It's like what I was saying about what time you get messaged at. Like, he's now set the tone of what he's expecting. So people now go against that.
Yeah. But also, like, credit to him for just, like, saying it.
Saying how it is.
As opposed to, like, letting it be a problem for him or him keep having it and making his life miserable or whatever it makes him feel. Like, I like that he's just said it how
He's
it
taken
is.
accountability and changed it.
Yeah, he's put it in back, like he's put the ball back in their court to be like, I've told you don't do this, so don't do it. When I think you're right, I'll hit you up. I like that. Respect. Yeah. Speaking of etiquette, I wanted to talk about today class etiquette. Obviously, I teach what feels like to be every minute of the working living day. And class etiquette to me is something which everyone has a different standard of what class etiquette should be, and depending what genre of dance you're in, right? For me, things that I like people doing in a dance class, like what I think class etiquette should be for my classes. I can't speak on behalf of everyone, but what I like in mine. Obviously, what I like in mine is probably going to be very different to what a ballet teacher is going to want. A ballet teacher normally wants the room to be very quiet, to concentrate, you know, to be very focused and not be talking, stuff like that. I want an atmosphere. I want it to be fun. I want some whooping and cheering. You know, a ballet teacher probably doesn't. They're probably like, shut up and let's listen to this really boring piano. Whereas I want people to like cheer people on and like make it a nice, positive environment. So class etiquette, for me, like the first thing is just be on time.
Yep.
Right?
That's life etiquette.
That's life etiquette. Like just be on time. That sets the tone for how you're seen as a student. It makes it easier for the teacher when people are walking in halfway through your warm-up. It can be distracting. And if they walk in like a bit into a combo, it always makes me go, do I have to go back and teach just for that person? And I'm like, nah, fuck it. They should be on time. So just be on time. But that's a general thing for me. Like on time is late. Be early. If I've got class at, like I teach on a Saturday morning at 9 a.m. I get there at like 8:20.
That's really early.
Yeah, bro. But you know why?
Because you're on time.
Because I'm on time. Like, but if something happens on the way to work, I'm late.
Yeah.
It's like I said before on other podcast, I start performers at 8 a.m. No, 8:30, and I get there at 7:30 because I allow for issues to go wrong, right? Obviously, I'm not saying you need to be an hour early, but like I'd be rocking up 10, 15 minutes early. So you're ready to like, when the door opens, you're ready to go in and be ready, as opposed to walking in as it's starting. So be on time. That's the first kind of rule of thumb for me for class etiquette. Then the learning process, like obviously ask questions. Like me as a teacher, I love it when people ask questions. I know not every teacher loves people asking questions. I think they care about the questions that are asked. It's not that they have a problem with the questions. I think they want people to only ask questions that are like needed. I know I've been in some classes where people are like, you should be able to figure that out without having to ask a question. But my other opposing side to that is like everyone's in a different part of their journey. So my question, I might be able to answer myself, but you might need to know the exact same detail, but you need to ask that question because you don't have the ability to like, to scan, to process it, to scan up and down, to take in as much information. So if I might not need to ask what that pinky finger is doing on that right hand because I've scanned, but you might not be able to take in that information as of yet. So you might have to ask that detail. So things like questions, I'm always like, you know, when people go, this might be a silly question. I'm like, there's not a silly, to me, there's not a silly question. Unless it's like, why do dolphins swim in the middle of class? Like, like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's not a silly question. So ask questions. I'm all for it. And then
it shows you're paying attention as well.
It shows you care.
Yeah.
I like that. And then, when the room is like, say like I ask the room a question as the teacher, and I can't bear it when no one responds. Like, or they don't even like, you don't even need to say like, vocally responding would be the perfect thing to do with a smile, hopefully, right? But otherwise, just like a smile or a head nod or a thumbs up, like some sort of acknowledgement. There's so often that I teach and I go, "Are we okay?" And the room, like, or any questions, and it's literally like I've just gone, "I hope you all die." Like the room is like flatline, and you're like, "Yo, give me something. I'm here trying to give my all to 40 of you. The least you can do is give a tiny bit of you back, in communication wise. I know you're giving me because you're giving me your time, your effort and your money, but just some sort of communication to make this environment, a nicer environment. So it's not me talking to myself like a fucking solo podcast in the middle of class, which I, of all people, don't mind doing. But if that annoys me, like, I can't imagine what it feels like for people who maybe don't like talking that much.
Yeah.
You know? So just be more responsive. There's a girl I teach at Performers, and she's my favorite. I wish she could go to every class, because like I go, hey guys, how was your week? And she's like, really good. Like, there's always a response, there's always a smile, there's always a thumbs up. Like, it's such a positive communication relationship whilst teaching her, you know? Like, even if she don't get the steps, she's like, can you do it again, with the biggest smile on her face? And you're like, this,
hell yeah, I can.
yeah, of course I can. Like, this makes you're having a good time, I'm having a good time. Like, this makes it nice. Whereas when people don't respond, oh my God, it makes you feel like, as the teacher, a dumbass.
Yeah, it makes you
feel like you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And I feel like students don't think about what their teacher's feeling. Like, I always say to students, like, you think you have the hard job? Like, you've only got to take as much information as you can from that one person in front of you. As the teacher, I have to give as much information as I can to the 40 people in front of me.
And take it back.
Yeah. And be able to deliver it in different ways to make sure 40 of you understand it. So the least you can do is respond with a smile, or like communication. So be responsive is a huge one. I like, when I take class, I love class to be fun. Like, to me, I dance because I love dancing. If it feels like it's a fucking science project in there and everyone's like dead quiet, and like, I get it, we're concentrating and we're learning it, but again, like, I don't mind being like, let's go, like a little something to make the room nice. Like, or I don't know, especially if my friends are teaching, if it's like Sam or John and Marco, like, they'll say something and I'll always say something to try and make them laugh. Like, I'll do like a silly comment without it being rude, without it disrupting the room, but just to make like the class like a fun environment, bouncy kind of space. And like Kai Scanlon does that in mine. Like, he'll always make a silly little comment or a joke, and you're just like, really? Like, it's fun. It breaks up the atmosphere. It stops it. And I know not every teacher is going to like that. Like, in a ballet class, that probably wouldn't rock well. Even in some AKA commercial classes, that might not go down very well. But for me, this is the thing I love. Like, this is fun. So let's keep it fun, right? But don't start fucking around at the back of the classroom. Like, so there's been a few classes I've taught recently where like people are in the back and they're messing around, and I'm having to then get their attention to teach them. I'm having to ask them to stop fucking around so I can teach them. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck is going on here? Like, it's a balance, right? Like, I'm all up for you having fun. Like, if you both, like, you nudge your mate and you have a giggle about something that makes you laugh, or like, do you remember this? Like, that's cool for 10 seconds. But don't let it make me be like,
and choose your moment.
And choose your moment. Like, when the teachers walk in to press play on the music, that might be your moment where you can have a little communication. But if I'm trying to talk to you, or the teacher is trying to address the room, that's not the time for you to be talking. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, or for you to be fucking around, especially. Like, that's so frustrating that I have to beg you to teach you.
Yeah.
When you're paying to
be
be taught by me, just don't come.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I like your money, don't come. Right? So
You'd
yeah.
rather take a pay hit.
I'd rather take a pay hit and make my life more like,
and make the class environment better.
Because that stops it from being enjoyable for me as well.
Well, it stops it from being enjoyable for everyone.
Exactly.
Because you're then getting pissy, and then
my demeanor.
Your demeanor reduces.
Yeah, which
whatever.
affects the whole room, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Things
and
like
it's
that.
also like you're then spending time correcting them, or like telling them to get back into line, which reduces other people's time.
Yeah. My other thing is know where you're at. So like, know where you're at and know, like, within your ability, and let that kind of not dictate where you stand, but like, if you know you're struggling more than 90% of the people in the room, I don't recommend you stand in the front row.
Right. Do you get that a lot?
Not a lot, but it does happen sometimes, with the person off your shoulder is going down in flames every 3 seconds. And like, imagine how frustrating that is for the person behind you. And then that person also is kind of throwing themselves under the bus, because if I don't dance it with you, then you've got no one to follow along.
You've got no one to follow, yeah.
Like, if I was if I was someone who was a weaker person or a beginner in an intermediate advanced class, I'd be standing behind someone who's more advanced than me.
So then you can
I can play follow the leader, right? So like, yeah, you still want to be able to see the teacher. You don't want to be in the very back corner, because otherwise you're going to get nothing. You're going to get like 5th hand information learning from each row. But you also don't want to be on the teacher's ass, because if the teacher disappears,
You fucked.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, you don't want to be the one that's messing up. I'll never forget taking class in LA with Misha, and like all the little kids go at the front.
Right.
Which is fine because they're the smallest
see,
people in the
yeah.
room, right? So they can see. But he used to get like, not annoyed, but he used to be like, guys, like, you haven't got four. Like, he didn't say this, but like his meaning was like, you don't have the steps. You don't know what it is. Don't stand in the front. Like, you're messing up the entire room.
Well, was he saying this to the kids?
He'd just say it like as a general to the room.
Right.
Like, if you don't know what you're doing, don't stand in the front row.
Yeah.
Like, and I always remember at the time being like, yeah, but they need to be able to see to learn. And now the more of established teacher I become, the better a teacher I am. I get it. Because it's like, well, you see the effect that person messing up every step or going left when everyone's going right, that affects the whole room.
Yeah.
Like, so just know where you're at in your ability and dictate where you stand.
Do you think they know where they're at though? Like, are they that self-aware?
But if you're not, you need to be. That's part of being this job, right?
But I think so many people just aren't. No, I'm not talking about in dance, but as like a whole. I think so many people don't actually know their ability.
But I know that I wouldn't stand at the front of Josh Denya's class.
But you're self-aware.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like they're.
I don't know
I'm
how
saying
they
like,
are.
is there actually like a disconnection between their imaginary reality and?
But surely you know if you don't know what's happening.
I don't know. I think so.
Like, surely you know that if they go 5, 6, 7, 8 and your body does the wrong thing, like...
I'd like to think so. I certainly would.
Yeah, I would too. Oh, I just licked the microphone. Does that sound like anything? It's weird, isn't it?
That's really fucking weird.
Tastes like shit. Yeah.
That's a nice little reel.
It's just weird to me. Like, why would you want to be going wrong at the front and center? I get you're eager to learn and you're like, you're not shy maybe, but like, do yourself a favor so you have someone to follow, and then also be nicer to the rest of the room so they haven't got to watch you go down in fucking flames and confuse them. You know,
But that's the worst. Is like what you were saying about this when you're on a job. You were saying on Sunday when the person in front of you was going wrong, it makes you think that you're going wrong.
yeah. You have to trust your instincts.
You have to trust that you're going right.
Trust that you know, like believe in your ability. But I believe in my ability that if I see someone going wrong, I don't think I trust my instincts that I'm right. But that's come through lots of practice, you know. And then my other thing is, like, so say when we do
You put some serious thought into this, haven't you? You're just reading them off.
Do you know what? I haven't at all. It's just like
it's just coming.
It's something. Oh, bro, I teach 5 days
Yeah.
a week. Like, I experience this a lot. Not so much as a student anymore, but definitely as a teacher. And then the other thing is, like, when we go like, okay, let's go group 1, group 2, like, or like, let's split the room in half. Don't just walk off without the teacher telling you which half you're on.
Right.
You know, so if I go, right, let's go in halves.
Yeah.
And then a group, like, people just walk off. You don't know what half you are. Like,
Right.
you've just shown me that you, like, I'm not doing it. I know that might not be a big thing to people. I have a thing that if I go, right, let's go in half, and I just split down the middle, and I don't say who's group 1, group 2, and the side leaves, they're always group 1.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm like, whoa.
Where do you think you're going, cowboy?
You don't dictate this. Like, I know that might be a really petty thing on me, but like, I always go, what
would do
makes
the
them
same.
think that they're not doing it now?
Yeah.
What makes them think that someone else has to go first, or that they don't have to? Nah, I'm like, so if I see people leave first, I'm always like, get back in.
Get back in.
And if that doesn't happen, I always go whoever's got the most boys on. Like, so yeah, that's but I think that might be a me pet peeve. But then also when groups are happening, like, I don't mind you being on the side practicing, but let's not pretend that there's not a group dancing.
Yeah. When
Like,
they're just chatting or whatever.
When they're just
that annoys me.
chatting or like they go and play on their phone. What the fuck? Like, there's a group happening.
That's one. Phones.
Yeah.
In class. Get off them. Because there's so many times where someone will go on a phone and they come back completely different because they've been sent a message or whatever.
And it's changed their
behavior.
Yeah,
it's
that's
changed
so
their
true.
mindset. Yeah, that's a big one for
Yeah.
me.
No, that's a fat one. Because your brain should be focused on learning, not on who's texting
Who's
you.
texting you.
Unless obviously like you're waiting for like an
A pickup text
emergency
from
or
mum.
like, or some like an emergency or something like that. Like lately, like my phone's been like in my forefront when I'm teaching because I'm waiting for like my estate agents because I can't miss that call. You know, like little things like that. But otherwise, like if you've got an hour and a half to just put your phone in your bag and not look at it and focus on taking in information from the teacher and not from external stuff, you're only going to end up better from it.
Absolutely. I think there's something to say about how much like you can take in during like an hour or an hour and a half, and it's another data input.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like more information which you're absorbing, which is going to lessen your learning capabilities.
What else is there? I think if you're dealing with shit outside of the room, or you're going through emotional life, either leave it outside the studio and don't bring your problems in with you, or use it to your advantage.
Go on.
So if you're like emotionally like going through it, your boyfriend's broken up with you, or your girlfriend's broken up with you, or cheated on you, whatever, like all that anger and frustration, come in here and let it out. This is your happy place. This is the thing you're meant to use as like your go-to. Like, say you're in like a contemporary class and they want an emotional thing, like utilize that shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, utilize that thing. Be like, I'm gonna fucking kill this. Yo, when my ex-girlfriend cheated on me,
are we going there?
Yeah. Yo, it's the most successful I've ever been.
Really?
I booked my dream job.
Right.
I became Lavelle Smith's assistant. I got picked out in more classes. I trained more than I've ever trained. I was the most shredded I've ever been. Like, I used that emotion as a tool.
It's funny. I've always said to use anger as a like part of your arsenal.
Mine was anger, sadness, everything. But instead of staying on my sofa crying about it, I did for a day. But then like I was like, right. I used it. And my motivation was like, watch this. I'm going to make greatness. Use it.
My best life decisions have come from a place of anger.
Really?
Yeah.
You're obviously an angry person because you do make some good choices.
like my decision to like never be employed again and go self-employed came from anger.
From a shit employee?
No, just like I was so frustrated that I couldn't be me. Because I came out of school with no GCSEs and blah, 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 blah. And I knew I was capable of a lot.
Yeah.
And I was so angry at the system that we live in. God, we're getting deep now. I was so angry at the system that we live in that I used that anger to say, fuck you, I'm never working for someone else again. And then I built what we're in now from it.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah, so I just think use that emotion. Or if you can't use it, leave it at the door. Because when you bring it in and you're the negative egg in the room, that's like a little virus.
It spreads.
You're like baby COVID. like your negative energy is going to rub off on the person next to you. The same as being positive.
Being positive. What we
Come in, be a beacon of positivity. Like I said, there's a girl called Jessie who I was like, buy the happiest person in the world. Because even if she doesn't get the steps, even if she doesn't really know what's going on, like she does know what's going on most of the time, but even if she has doubt, she just smiles and she's like, I'll get it. Like, she's just happy. Thank you. Like, I'm down for that. Like, you're always welcome in this room. Even if you get 5% of the steps, you never get 5. You always get 95. But like, you're always welcome because you bring such a nice energy. And that's like, they're the people that I want in my room.
Well, it's funny. I was thinking about similar context today. Is like, who are you within the role? Right. So
me or
just like as a generalized question is like, okay, yes, you can be Kane the dancer, Kane the teacher, but who are you outside of those roles, and how and are you the same within every single one of those roles? So, for example, like what you're saying about, what was her name, Jess? So like, she's obviously quite a happy person. So within the role of being a student, she's a happy person, which she brings probably to every region of her life.
She's probably a happy person whether she's at Tesco's
or whether she's in a class, right? And if you can carry across like something that I'm aware is that my base values I carry with me to every single sector of my life. My friendships, my relationships, my different jobs that I do is like, I will always be the same person, which because I work on the foundation of me first. And then that increases the likelihood people want to work with me.
Yeah.
For example, my base values is like, I'm kind, loving, respectful. Yeah. Right. And I will apply that in videography. I'll apply that in PT. I'll apply that in any business relationship, any friendship I have, etc. So it goes on with what you're saying about being the happy person. It's like, that's the base value. Yeah. Now inject into every other part of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. So be a positive person in the room, because, you know, you're going to infect. Because as soon as you come in as that Debbie Downer, and I've been that Debbie Downer on jobs. I've been that person. No, I've never been asked back. Like, don't be that person. And then when people are doing groups, like, it costs nothing. And Cisco kind of made a point of this. Like, it costs nothing to clap. No. It costs nothing to cheer. Like, even if they're not even the best, just support them, because they're here putting themselves out there to be better. Be better. They're putting themselves out there. That's Josh Daniel. Be better. Happy birthday, Josh. It was your birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to you. Like, it costs nothing to make a better environment. Like, if you all start cheering each other, naturally, you're all going to enjoy the room more.
Way more.
Like, even if you're watching the worst dancers in the room, show them some love. Throw some support at them. They'll do it back to you. It feels nice. Like, I think Cisco was calling it artificial support or something.
Yeah.
Like, but it's right. Like, it has such a different effect on the room.
But you as the individual have the responsibility of creating an environment.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it shouldn't be the teacher's responsibility.
No, it's not that. It's, to me, it's never even the teacher's responsibility how good you are. Like, it's down to you to put in the work. It's down to you to. The only thing the teacher's responsible of is making sure that they make it a safe space. You have a role to play in that as well as the student, but the teacher's responsibility is to make sure it's a safe space, because if someone's making it an unsafe space, they've got to go. So it's up to you to get rid of them, and to make sure you're delivering good content. You're giving good teaching, you're giving good direction, you're guiding well. You know what I mean? You're teaching good information, you're sharing good information. Everything else is on the student. Like how hard you work, do you practice outside of it? Your learning process. Like, I can advise you on what I think is the best way for you to learn, but then if that doesn't work for you, like, I don't like people going full out until they know what they're doing. Like, that's my preference. That's what I've learned, and I've learned that from lots of other people. But some people like learning by going full out, and if you know that your way really works for you and my way doesn't, you keep doing you. But I recommend, all I can do is advise you on what I think is right.
This is one of the tools that you use.
Yeah, that I use and I find very successful. Because like I say all the time, why guess when you can know? Like, don't waste your energy guessing. You don't just get in a car and be like, let's guess what happens, without having a lesson, without knowing. You know? So yeah, there's some of my points. Lots of points on class etiquette. I can't really think of anything else. Oh, hey, how about at the end of the class you just say thanks? Right?
Just thanks in life.
I'm not saying you need to like make a line and queue up, which in LA is a thing.
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, like I remember people used to, and I did it because everyone else did it.
Right.
And I guess when I was there, like, I wanted to say hello to Marty Kudelka because he's my hero. But like, people would line up and say thank you very much for class, and some people would be like, can I have a selfie? Can I have a chit chat? I don't want a selfie with you, and I don't need to know your life story. If you want to say thank you and you have some advice, I'll gladly answer it. If I've never seen you before, I might ask you like, hey, where are you from? How come you're here? Like, I don't need to know about your breakfast. But, and I don't mean that in a horrible way, but it's like, the teacher doesn't have time to speak to 40 people like about a life story after it.
Details,
but it doesn't cost just to say, you don't even need to line up. Even if you're just leaving, just wave and say thank you.
Yeah.
Like, again, they're the loveliest students, are performers. Every single class when they're leaving, they all go, thank you, thank you, thank you. To a point where I'm like, I say thank you.
No worries.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Like, but it's so lovely.
Yeah.
It's better than just being like
shows
finished and everyone bouncing.
It shows your level of respect.
Yeah, there's something about that. Right? Yeah, so I don't think I've missed anything. No.
Well,
I don't know. Now again, the last one, everyone is different. Every teacher is different. Like, I don't need people to ask me to go to the toilet.
right.
You know, like in class,
go.
like some teachers are like you didn't go to dance college, but like in dance college or just in general, like people have to put their hand up and they say, can I go to the toilet? Like, I get that teachers want people to do that so they know where they are and they don't think people are just leaving the room.
And fire safety and all the rest of them. Like
Yeah, lots of reasons. My reasoning is, I don't need you to stop my trail of thought or ask me a question in the middle of me explaining something, just if you can have a wee, and then it make me not be able to deliver my information the best it could be.
Right.
I believe that if you're leaving the room, you're leaving the room for a valid reason. If you're running out of the room, I'm going to go as an urgency. But even if you just leave and just like, I'll notice you're leaving. But even if you just go like, toilet.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can like mouth it, you can point like I'll know what you mean. As opposed to just like, don't just run out, because then I'm going to panic and think like you're dying.
Yeah.
But there's nothing worse than being in the middle of I'm explaining something. And then they'll be like, can I use the toilet? I'm like, are you mad? Like, I'm just telling you why it's important to plie. Like, like, you know what I mean? Or I press play and you put your hand up. I'm like, press pause again. Like, it just kills the flow of the class.
Right.
Like,
again, choose your moments, right?
and some people would be like, just wait till after class. And I'm like, I don't agree with that. Because I'm like, but if I need a pee, I'm peeing.
I'm peeing.
Like, I don't just decide randomly, like, yo, I want to pee now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do this bit of
That's a
class. I want to
natural
pee.
thing.
Like, I'm a grown up, and I
Yeah.
treat people like, obviously, if they're kids, I want them to ask. It's different. But like, as an adult, if you're trying to be professional, if you're in class, like, you know if you need to go to the toilet or not. You know if you can hold it or not. Like, if I need a wee, I'm not going to be the best I can in that class because I'm actually distracted about holding my bladder. Can't believe I'm talking about weeing. Like, yeah, just that really throws me off. Like,
Right.
when people go, as I'm in the middle of, can I go to the toilet? I'm like, yes. I'm not going to say no, am I? Who says
you
no?
stay there.
But like, who says no?
Right. Yeah.
Like, sometimes I say no as a joke and they look at me. I'm like, pee yourself. Of course you can go, idiot. Go pee. Anyway,
do you ever
that's-
go wait 30 seconds whilst I explain this? Because you
No.
know you're about to drop like some good info.
No.
Do you not?
No, that's on you.
Okay.
Go pee. Because if I need to get to the point in class where I'm like, I don't ask in class, but if I go to if I'm in class and I'm like, I need to go pee, I know it's because it's to the point where I can't wait.
Yeah. All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Or have a shit. Like, you gotta go. I know some people won't agree with me and they'll say hold it, but we don't all have bladder holding skills. Girls always seem to be really good at holding their bladders. Better than boys.
Change the topic.
Yeah. Anywho,
Anyhow,
I went on one then
you went on one
about peeing.
about PM.
Yeah, I think that's all my class etiquette points.
Mm.
You got anything to add?
No, I think you
You
covered.
teach? Did I cover it? Everything?
I think you covered good base.
Nice. Thanks, guys. I think that's the end.
Yeah.
I've got nothing
I was
else
going to bring up the whole Joe Rogan thing
Oh, go. Yeah,
But-
being cancelled.
being cancelled, but I just should we do it save it for another day?
It might not be popular next week.
Might not be
a
popular.
topic.
I'm
If
just
you don't want to
touching
hear
up
about this, sign out, subscribe, leave me a 5-star rating review on iTunes, follow us on Instagram,
All that malarkey.
and sign up for the Ins and Outs training program, and message us if you want to buy some new merchandise, which is coming soon. If you want to stay for this chat, hi.
Hi. I mean, because this is a chat that me and you should probably have, so we might as well just do it on air.
Go.
Dude, what the fuck is going on?
What, the world trying to cancel him?
Why are trying to cancel him?
Nah, man. My belief is that he's the most highly viewed influencer entertainment system on the entire planet. He's it's an easy target to make clickbait. It's an easy target for news headlines to get stories in.
Cash money
Because
in.
it used to be Donald Trump.
Yeah. It's
And now there's no one to talk about. What are they going to keep doing? Like in the UK, it's more about like Boris Johnson being a bellend, and that's fine. But like, no one cares about the topic COVID anymore. No one cares about the topic Brexit anymore. No one can talk about Donald Trump anymore. So what can we bring up?
It's the next moneymaker.
That's the next moneymaker. It's the next thing that's going to make us popular. Let's like try and call out Joe Rogan. And everyone who has an opinion, a negative opinion on Joe Rogan, is
Hasn't
normally
listened to
someone
his
that's
podcast.
never listened to his podcast.
Absolutely.
Because he's the most open-minded communicator ever.
Yeah.
And I know because I listen to fucking them all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what like shocks me so much about it. It's like, how are you, like, if you've ever listened to even just an hour of his podcast, you would know that what he's about.
well, like, let's
He's
talk.
about finding out information.
So let's talk about like the current one, right? So the first one was he was spreading misinformation.
Which is total bollocks.
Well, he's not spreading misinformation. He's bringing
He's
on the
asking information.
He's asking information from the most highly qualified scientists on earth.
I know.
The most publicated scientist, doctor/scientist
Yeah.
ever. So Joe Rogan's not spreading information. If anything, this doctor would be. But he's the most published or qualified there is to talk about it.
I know.
So what's the ish? Also, if anyone should be getting done for spreading misinformation, why aren't the news outlets? Why aren't the government?
Absolutely.
Because you've been saying a mask works this whole fucking time and it doesn't.
Ooh, let's
You
get
first of all
controversial
you said get your vaccine, it'll make you better. Now we're on number 4. We're still not fucking better.
Yeah.
Is that not misinformation? Like, we don't scrutinize or like cancel other people, but someone wants to cancel a public figure or someone who's not the government because they have such a big influence and it's easy money. It's easy clickbaits. It's easy things. It's an easy topic to talk about. Then the other thing now they're on is Joe Rogan's racist.
I know.
Well, once upon a time, a very long time ago, he used horrendous words, but you've taken it out of context and you've edited it. And isn't it funny that you've posted it on Black History Month?
Oh, really?
Black History Month. So this has been around for 10 years And now you're trying to take him down. You're telling me that it's not coincidence that now
is the time to
is
strike.
the time to strike on this specific thing.
It's just such a shame because it's like,
And I'm not condoning it. Like the things he said is horrendous, and even he said it's horrendous. But it's been around forever.
From my understanding, he wasn't using it like in a quote derogatory sense.
No, he wasn't. But that's how it's edited. But it's irrelevant. Like we shouldn't use those words anyway.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's right for the record.
Yeah.
But like.
But they've made it out in a derogatory sense. But like, I don't agree with it. Full stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's out there. Like, it should never be said.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but if we're gonna like start canceling people, there's loads. We can go down a rabbit hole. Like, let's get rid of Howard Stern then, because he's done blackface and been more racist than anyone. But we haven't cancelled him. Like, but how about let's just not try and cancel people?
Yeah.
How about let's try and educate people on their mistakes, or question people on their mistakes, and see if they own up. And then if they say sorry, or they go, do you know what? I'm a different person than I was 15 years ago or 10 years ago. I was a douche. I'm really, really sorry. Then we forgive them. If they double down and stand by it, then we can cancel them. You know?
Yeah, I think like this whole cancel culture is just bizarre. It's like you can't move without doing something wrong.
No.
Because someone's going to be offended no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the main thing in like business and politics. It's like no matter what you do, you can't please everyone.
No.
And so you're going to upset someone along the lines. But to me, it's not our responsibility to cancel other people. It's our responsibility to check our own emotions. Like if you're being offended by something, it's probably because you haven't got enough emotional stability surrounding that subject.
100%.
You know, like if I called you Ginge, or if I said all gingers are X, Y, Z, and you're offended by it, it's because you're insecure that you're ginger.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, what I'm saying is wrong, but like I have quote freedom to say that.
Yeah.
It's up to you whether or not you're offended by that.
Yeah.
You know, if someone called me short, I'd laugh.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
motherfucker, I'm mad
Yeah,
short.
I call myself Team Hobbit all the time.
But I'm so emotionally secure around that subject that no matter what someone said to me about being short, I'm never going to be offended.
Yeah.
Because I'm good with it.
And it's factual.
And it's factual.
Like, it's not opinion based. It's fact. You're a short male. Like,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like if I was overweight, if I was 20 stone and you called me fat, you're not being
You're not being horrible.
You
are being horrible.
Well, you're also the same way as you calling me ginger.
Yeah.
Like,
it's quite a fact.
It's quite a fact.
Yeah.
As long as it's done in more specific context.
Yeah.
But like the thing is with Joe Rogan at the moment, like they're just trying to cancel him because it's easy money. There's no one else to try and cancel. Everyone says he's really far right because he's not pro cancel culture, all this stuff. But he's also not really pro right because he's open to topic.
He's not pro anything.
He's pro anything. He's pro conversation. He's pro learning. And like, to me, if we all had a bit of Joe Rogan, we'd be in a much better place.
Oh yeah.
Like, because if you look at his podcast, he's the highest viewed podcast of all time. Each episode averages around 11 million views / listens.
Yeah.
That's more than any TV show there has been in the history of TV shows on a regularity basis. He has white people, black people, Asian people, like.
He has left, he has right.
He has left, he has right, he has gay, he has straight. Like, how can you say he's a racist person when he tours with Dave Chappelle, and then has Dave Chappelle and other black comics or whatever people, like whatever their profession is, professionals, on the biggest platform in the world and promotes them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it really bothered me.
Yeah, but it's just the world we're in, man.
I know.
It's like when I shared his thing.
It's not that.
It's like when I shared the speech of him, like the 9-minute speech about saying sorry for spreading misinformation and sorry if you're offended. First of all, he shouldn't have said sorry.
No,
but
I didn't
you know
think
what?
he said sorry.
But at the
Actually,
same
cool.
time, he didn't really say sorry. He just explained his point. He didn't go, I am sorry for doing this. He said, I'm sorry if you're offended.
Yeah.
So, you know, he apologized for your feelings, not for what he did. You know, like, so it was kind of a sorry. But like, I posted it and someone messaged me saying, I'm unfollowing you, and unfollowed me. I was like, cool, bye. Like,
Mental.
Like, as if you're offended by me sharing that. Like,
And I think where a lot of the issue is none of us have real problems. Like, so we create problems.
Because life's easy.
Because life is easy. And there's this idea, isn't it? It's like hard times create strong men.
Yeah.
Men create good times. Good times equals weak men.
Yeah.
And I feel personally...
No, men. It creates strong men. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create
times.
easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create hard times.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, you just said it creates men.
Oh, sorry. What he said. But I feel like we're in that weak like weak stage.
Yeah, because the strong men have come, and women, strong men and women have come. They've made life couldn't be much easier. I can get shit delivered to me tomorrow morning.
It's crazy,
from
yeah.
the other side of the world. Like, life couldn't be essentially easier, but we look for problems.
Now we're looking for problems and looking for things to be offended by.
Whereas once upon a time, we used to just be like, imagine going to a third world country and being like, yo, did you see what Joe Rogan said on the podcast?
Yeah, no,
I'm so offended. And they'd be like, bitch, I need to eat. I need water. Like, you know, like it's just perspective.
Absolutely.
So yeah, bunch of pussies.
We say surrounded by lights, cameras, and computer microphones.
Yeah.
On a nice couch.
It's like I put up the other night. Life is good as you make it. Like, life can be as good as you let it be. Like, if you're constantly finding problems, then life is going to be hard if you look for problems. I know that's not as easy said as done, because some people do have really shit things happen to them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've had shit things happen to me, but I don't let that define me. That doesn't define my life. I learn from it. I use it. I grow from it.
It's like 90% of your life is how you react to stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can't always dictate the hands that are dealt to you, but you can sure as hell dictate how you play the hand.
Most definitely.
You know?
Yeah, man.
Anyway.
Life is good.
Life is good.
God is great. Don't know where that come from. By God, I mean
Me.
Nick Bass.
Jacobson.
Nick Bass is great. John Graham is great. All the different gods. My gods. Anywho, peace out. Subscribe. Message us. Oh, we had questions. We'll answer them next week.
Yeah.
Love. We say goodbye. Bye. Bye, friends. Bye, family. Bye, Jake.
Bye. Have a good time. What was that from?
Bye.
Nickelodeon. Bye. Have a good time.
I don't know. Don't know if you're allowed to do that accent, though. Best cancel. You get cancelled for that. I know you look Asian, but you're not. Bye.